Hello, my name is Christy Miller, and I'm going to talk to you about Noah Webster. Noah Webster is known as the schoolmaster of America because of his contributions to American education. He was a founding father. He attended Yale from 1774 to 1778. He fought in the Revolutionary War, and he taught in Connecticut district schools. His time in the Connecticut district schools showed him that education in America needed to change. It needed some help. He also realized that America needed to be unified, and he felt that the best way to do this was to unify the language through standardization. While everyone spoke English, different words could be used for different items in different regions. Spellings were widely varied among people, and pronunciations were also widely varied. He felt like this needed to be standardized, and he believed that this was paramount for education because education could not be efficient and effective if spellings and word usage could vary from place to place. So he put these two passions together and became a major contributor to American education. His philosophy of education was that of a perennialist. Perennialist. He believed that education's purpose was to produce good, moral, righteous, religious citizens who understood their culture and where they came from. This can be seen in his writings. In one writing, he wrote that every child in America should be acquainted with his own country. He should read books that furnish him with ideas that will be useful to him in life and practice. He went on to write that the Christian religion is the most important and one of the first things in which all children under a free government ought to be instructed. So he very much believed that religious instruction should be part of education, and it should be uh, taught to children at a young age. It should permeate education. He also believed that good citizenship, where the nation came from, how it got its start, what the principles of government were, and what were your responsibilities to that nation and that government as a good citizen. Those should all be things that were taught to children in school. He believed this should be done through the three R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. And he focused mainly on the reading and writing because his other passion was to unify the language. So he worked to standardize spellings, standardize definitions, and pronunciations. One of the ways in which he did this was to write the first American textbooks. He wrote a grammar book, a history book, a reading book, but his most famous book, was the Blueback Speller. In each of these books, he included religious and moral teachings. In the Blueback Speller, he included pronunciations, spellings, and reading assignments. This Blueback Speller was actually his primary reader, although later in the 1800s it was still used in classrooms, but it was used primarily as a speller. His method of teaching children to read was the method used in America through the 1820s. In the 1820s or 1830s, the McGuffey readers came on the scene and they started to usurp the Blueback Speller as a reader, but not as a spelling book. Webster's most famous contribution to education in America was his dictionary, and we still use a version of his dictionary today that also was permeated with religious teachings. He went on to found Amherst College, and he was such a prominent influencer in education that when he died, an epitaph was included in many textbooks. And that epitaph said, "Noah Webster, who taught millions to read, not one to sin." Noah Webster was a major contributor to early education in early America. And in many ways, we still see his influence in our educational system today.